Okay, so here we go, the work together. So on our T-charts, all we're going to do is we're going to label the T-charts, and we're going to label them how they are affected by transactions. So we have an example on this page, and then I'm here on the work together. I think I'm ahead. So I thought we did 2-1 yesterday. There we go. So we've got our example that shows our increases and decreases in accounts. So right now I'm on the work together, 2-1. So I'm on page 31 of the book. So it says here, for each of the accounts, complete the following. You'll prepare a T account, label the debit and credit sides, then label each side of the T account using these labels. Hey guys, don't forget, I told you if I can hear you, you're too loud. So we've got our first account right here. It's cash. So I'm just going to label this T-chart cash. So we labeled the T-chart with our cash account title. Now step 2. Going to label the debit and credit sides. So on the opposite page in the book here, we've got our debit and credit side. So debit's on the left and credit's on the right. Like that. So then our next step, so that was step 2. So then step 3, we're going to label the T-chart, which one has the normal balance and which side has the increase and which side has the decrease. So going back to the opposite page, cash is an asset. So here, just in the general example, says any asset. So this is going to be the same thing for any asset. So any asset is anything on the asset side, right? It's pretty easy. So we look, our normal balance is going to go on the debit side. So we'll just put normal balance. And go down again. See, now we look for our increases and decreases. Well, our increase is on the left side. So we'll write increase. And then decrease. On the right side. So that's for our cash account. So then going back over to the book on the other page. Now our next account title is Accounts Receivable for Christine. So we're going to label our T-chart. I'm just going to put AR. And I'll go ahead and put her last name on here just because I don't want to write it all out. You just want to do the same thing, you can. AR is a normal abbreviation for Accounts Receivable. Typically, anybody makes any comment about AR in the business world, it's automatic. You're talking about accounts receivable. So now we're going to label our columns. Debit's always on the left. If you haven't picked up on that yet. And credit's always on the right. So we'll go back to our example. Now we got an accounts receivable, but we don't have an accounts receivable labeled up here, but we've got one that says any asset, any liability. Who can volunteer what an accounts receivable is? A liability or an asset? Asset. I heard everybody said asset. So any asset. So this counts for any asset. So once again, normal balance, increase on the left side and decrease on the right side. So just like cash. I'll put decrease over here.
You care if we just use arrows on the sheet?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, somebody, if you want to just use arrows, you can, that's fine. So I think it sounds like most of you got this okay. So I want to point out a couple things. So we've got any asset, any liability. We've got owner's capital account. So notice on your asset side, your normal balance is in the debit column. On the liability side, it's on the credit column. So everything's opposite from one side to the other, keeps everything even that way. So going back to the opposite page, notice this, put a pencil right here. Everything on this side is an asset. So you got supplies and prepaid insurance. Those are assets. So, supplies, prepaid insurance, all this is going to be the same. Everything on this side of the pencil, those are liabilities and owner's equity. So just put those three over here on this side and look at the chart across the page. So I'll do one of these. I'll do this accounts payable. So I'll use AP for accounts payable. Miller. And going back here, that's, the trick is you got to know that accounts payable is a liability. So you got that, accounts payable is a liability. Our debit and credit are still going to be on the left and right. And then looking at our example, any liability. So we're going to have a decrease. So you can draw the arrow if you want to, or you can write decrease. And then under credit, our normal balance goes under credit. And that's the side we have our increase on. So your other liability accounts go over on this side, along with your owner's capital. And then your other two from here are going to go on the left side. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, so those are 3 out of the 7, so that's almost half for the work togethers. So you can finish those up, and then once you get done with those, then using a book or the PDF in Power School, do the on your own. Now, obviously, you're sitting next to others. You can work together a little bit, but try to do the on your own. Try to actually do that on your own. If you need somebody around you to help you, that's no problem. Just don't forget, though, once you get to the test, you're going to have to do that on your own. It's not an open friend test where you can get help from anybody.